Alright guys, it's TTC. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. Kids are in school, the wife's gone out. Let's go and see what cool things we can find around Manchester. There's a couple of not bad shops around here. One really cool one that we'll leave until the end. But for now, let's dive in. First stop is going to be Game on the top floor of Sports Direct. There's never loads in here really, but sometimes they do have some pretty good deals. If you're a Lego fan, there's quite a lot to choose from. Look at that. Didn't even know they made X-Men Lego. That's pretty cool. There's a couple of Power Rangers bits over this side. Let's face it, that's what we're here to see, innit? A couple of Care Bears. There you go, they've got a basic VHS version of the Yellow Ranger. There's a remastered yellow and black behind there. On to the Marvel section now. Some not bad bits. Usually everything's pretty heavily discounted. Like these two helmets here. Or even Squirrel Girl for 12 quid. That's not too bad. Just having a shuffle through, but there's not really anything I need here. Don't know nothing about G.I. Joe. This looked pretty cool. I was tempted for 9 quid. Star Wars next. Got a Black Series comic Leia, Skywalker and Grogu. Going through these vintage collection here, I did notice this tiny retro Grogu for 7 quid. Really wouldn't spend more than that on anything that size. This vintage collection one is half the size of that one. Hasbro, mate, $16.99 for that tiny piece of crap. B&M next. First thing that immediately caught my eye was this off-brand Chrome Blocks attack vessel. I don't know, looks a lot like the Razor Crest to me. Next up, HMV. We've got this little Marvel section by the door. I like the look of that X-Men line. There's MODOK's fat head. This is usually all anime figures. Seems to just be Yu-Gi-Oh today. A lot of fat heads in here today. Little Star Wars display with lots of keychains and Funko Pops. There's some vintage collection. One lone Black Series Bib Fortuna. Little modest Marvel Legends section. Some of the stuff like this Nick Fury's been sat here for months. I like this Iron Man. Might end up picking him up. I'll show at the end everything I end up getting. Wow, Star Wars Monopoly. Bet you it's still the most boring game in the world. Off to entertainer next. It's half term here, so there was a lot of kids about. Couldn't really film too much. Not really missing anything. There's a small amount of vintage collection and some retros. Nothing all that interesting really, if I'm honest. And that's about it for stores in the Andale. Said that they got rid of the Disney store, although it was always pretty expensive. Round this corner here is the Lego store, if that's your thing, but not really my jam. So we're heading outside to go towards the northern quarter. It's mostly like vintage clothes shops, retro places, bars, tattoo places. We will be making a stop on the top floor here of Affleck's later. Stick around for that, that's where all the decent bits are. First, we're going Forbidden Planet. Little sneak peek of all the bajillion Funko Pops that they have inside. There's quite a lot of Marvel Select figures in here. They're not bad, I don't really know anybody who collects them, but some of them look pretty nice. Sue Storm looks cool. I swear this Thanos has been here for about 12 years. On to Legends now. It's nice to see some new stock. My one complaint about this place is they don't seem to get new stuff in very often. Still going back and forth about this Iron Man. This smiley face here is so creepy. Look at that. Boom! That's a good find there, I really didn't expect to see that. Let's have a look at him. Think he might be coming home with me. Not really interested in Moon Knight, but if I was going to get one, it'd probably be this one. I like all those gold pieces. Big beefy Odin up here, look at that. He's a big fella. I was always more of a Tekken fan than Street Fighter, to be honest. If they did a line of figures as good as this, I'd snap them all up. To Star Wars section now, and they've got quite a lot of vintage collection. Look at that Vader. That's a nice Rex. I collect mostly the animated versions of clones. Again, pleasantly surprised to see some new stock in. These Black Series are good. I really like these new packs at the top, especially those droids in the middle. This caught my eye on the way downstairs. Not really my thing, but it's quite nice looking, isn't it? Big selection of Gundam model kits and figures, which I'll be honest, I know nothing about. I was having a look at these Batman comics. I'm a big Batman fan. I noticed this at the top. Classic story, Dark Knight Returns, $16.99.
$16.99, Grogu.
This is worth a lot more than that tiny piece of plastic. Love the Killing Joke too. Across the street we've got Travelling Man. That's more for like comic books, trading cards, Warhammer, all that nerd shit. Now if you've never been to Affleck's before, it's like a multi-floor indoor alternative market. Lots of clothes, skater shops, second-hand, vintage, retro. We're heading to level 3 to see the very creatively named Star Wars Man. Now this guy sells a huge amount of vintage, retro and modern toys. Some loose, some carded. He's got just an absolute ridiculous amount of things, as you can see here. He has some interesting political views. All these cases here are just absolutely rammed full. This is only one side of his shop. This hobgoblin caught my eye, but he's missing his glider. I had that purple Spider-Man when I was a kid. Tons of 6 and 7 inch Marvel and DC figures over here. Don't know what this weird baby Joker thing is holding Wasp's hand. This case at the back is all tiny little minifigures. Go Pops too, can't escape them. This corner case is mostly 6 inch Black Series. Some decent stuff, but nothing I'm currently looking for. Quite tempted by this Slave 1, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Then the rest of this side here is 3 3/4 Star Wars and Doctor Who. I'm mostly looking for Clone Wars or Revenge of the Sith stuff. A lot of this stuff here's fell over, but might have to have a closer look at those Coruscant guards. Don't see Indiana Jones stuff very often. And then the rest of this side is all Doctor Who. Shame about this Galactic Marine. I really wanted a couple of those, but he's missing his helmet and his blaster. Off to eBay for that one. Inside this place is mad. It's absolutely packed. Big wall full of carded figures. Stuff, he's got it all hanging from the ceiling. All the way down to the end. These big tubs of loose figures. There's the back of the cases. Not an OT collector, but seeing this 8080 in person, it's pretty sick. This is mostly the reason I come here, having a rummage through his big tubs of loose figures. I could happily stand here all day going through these. Look at that, these clones are looking nice. Nice price on a Royal Guard there. All the pieces together for a Droid A80. I've actually already got one of these, but it's cool seeing it all together like this. I am actually looking for a C-3PO, so might have to pick up this guy. You might think this is a mess, but I had fun picking through all these here. Alright, and we're back. That was actually a pretty decent day. Nice to see Forbidden Planet actually update the stock for once. Spent probably about half an hour altogether rummaging through those loose figures and afflicts. Don't think I did too badly really, it's a nice little haul. As you can see, I didn't actually pick up the Iron Man in the end. I only really have one of each character. I'm pretty happy with this guy for now. Still on my mind though, so I might have to get him next time I'm about. This guy was waiting for me when I got home. I found him on eBay for $6.99. Pretty sure he usually goes for quite a bit more than that. His articulation is... and is missing his backpack, but for that price I'm happy. Ended up grabbing a different version of C-3PO just because this one was quite a bit cheaper. Personally got no problem with the red arm. I could repaint it, but he's just going to stand with R2, so it's fine by me. And there's a little handful of Clone Wars figures. Padme and this grey guy have both got the wrong blasters, but I've got those going spare, so pretty sure I can sort them out. This one really was a nice surprise. I am eager to get this guy open. Shout out to all of you who use a scalpel to really carefully open everything. Look at that, I am really happy with this guy. It's got your typical Hasbro, like really long neck and no shoulders, but you know, that's what humans look like, right? He's going to be going in my Brotherhood collection, so on the hunt for Scarlet Witch next. That's a pretty good day's hunting if you ask me. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.